Hey guys, Ladarius Grimion, and welcome back for all of you folks who watch this channel. Yeah, and got another video, and today we're going to be talking about how to achieve your goals. So if you have a goal for this year, you have goals and you're trying to reach your goals, then you want to watch this video because this will definitely help you out. So yeah, let's hop right into it. Okay, so goals. You know, we all have goals. Everybody has goals in life. In fact, you could argue that's one of the things that makes life fun and enjoyable is having goals. I mean, you could argue that's the purpose of life itself. I mean, have something that keeps you waking up in the morning, right? Excited about life. So, well, at least getting up, everybody wakes up, but getting up and pumped and ready for the day. It's nice to have a goal that you want to move towards and you're excited to move towards and so on. So anyway, goals. So yeah, how do you achieve your goals? How do you get more results in your life? So where do I want to start with this? Let's see. Well, first thing to start with would be choice. So if we take a look here, choice. You have to understand that you have to choose to move towards your goals. And I know I'm talking about choice a lot and it's getting, repetitive, but it's so important that you guys get this because it's just the truth. Everything starts with choice. And, if you don't make a choice, nothing's going to change because in order to change your life, you have to first change your mind and then change your action. And then that action you've changed will allow you to change your life. Change your mind, your way of thinking, change your action, change your life. I'm getting thirsty, so I'm thinking about getting some water, right? I thought about it. I got the water right here, so I'm going to take action, grab it. I'm going to drink. Because I was thirsty and I achieved my goal right there by taking action. So that's just an example of how powerful that is. And people, I don't think people really realize how simple achieving goals really are. You set a goal down, all right, you write a goal down, and then you don't want to do too much because if you focus on too much, you get nowhere. But you have focus, you set a goal with focus, all right? And then you move towards that goal every single day. And before you know it, you've actually done it. You've actually achieved it. I think one of the main problems is people, I think they give up too fast. And then I also think they get sidetracked by other goals and by other things that are not as important as the goal itself. Which is why I think focus is extremely important. So let's look at this. Okay, so let's pretend that we have a goal, and this is all going to be for example. Everything here is for example, but let's pretend that we have this goal, right? Let's just say that you are a 18-year-old, right? You turned 18, you finished high school, and you want to get out of the house. You're tired of being in your parents' house. You want to move out, be independent. But it's going to take some time to, be able to get a car, for example, get an apartment, and to be able to do this. So how do you go about doing this? How would you go about achieving this goal? It's going to take time. You're not going to be able to do this in one day or a few months. It's going to take time. So how would you go about doing this? Well, first thing I recommend is you write the goal down. Okay? So you write down what you want. You write down why you want it, and then how you're going to get it. So I'll write this down right here. Let's see. So write it down. Write down what, why, and how. All right, so I don't know if you can see that, but whatever. That's the first thing you want to do. First thing you want to do is obviously know what you want. So you write down your goal, and I've done this, by the way, so this isn't anything new. But you write down what you want, why you want it, and how. Okay, so you could say, I want my own independence. I want my own place, my own car. I want my own life, basically. I want my independence in life. I want to live on my own. Okay, then you could say, well, why do you want that? Well, I want that because, it'll allow me to be more free, and my life doesn't have to be, overshadowed by my parents, for example. And it'll just be better for me because I'd have more focus in life. And hell, you know what? I don't want to live under my parents' roof forever. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to be the boss and be my own man and, live life on my own terms. Fair enough. All right, but so now you know what you want, and now you know why you want it. All right, this is extremely important. You're setting a goal. It's important to know what you want, okay, in the first place, and then it's important to know why you want it. Why do you want to achieve this goal? So in this case, we want to achieve our goal, get our own place, and be financially independent. So we can do things on our own, and not have to obey our parents all the time, right? So pretty simple. So how are we going to do this? We know what our goal is. How are we going to achieve this goal? Okay, well, first thing I guess would be I need to get a job, okay? Because if I'm going to go get a car and an apartment, I'm going to have to, be able to sustain myself. So I'm going to need some type of job to be able to do that. Okay, so yeah, that's step one. Get a job. Okay, so once we get a job, what do we do then? Okay, well, maybe we need to start saving money. Start saving money every month in our savings account so we don't spend it all. And then once we could use that money to buy us a car. All right, and we keep doing that every single month until we have enough. We buy ourselves a car. All right, and once we have ourselves a car, we start saving more money, or maybe we find a better job. And then once we find a better job, we save more money for an apartment. Or, maybe we build our credit, for example. Okay, so you make a plan on how you're going to achieve the goal. This is extremely important. Because if you just set a goal and you have no plan, well, what the heck? You're not going to be able to achieve it. You have to have some type of plan or some type of means to achieving the goal. So you write your goal down. What do you want in life? Why do you want it? And how are you going to get it? And I recommend you have a short-term goal and a long-term goal that coincides with one another. But for this example, this is kind of a mid-long-term goal, or this is kind of a short-term goal, honestly, in my book, but you could call it long-term if you want. This is a goal. So you write down what you want, why, how you're going to get it. So we know how we're going to get it. We have to get a job. All right, so, get a job. Once we get a job, then we get a car, then we get a house, for example, or apartment, right? And then once we do that, we can be financially independent on our own. So why is this important? Well, it's important, I just use that as an illustration, as an example, but it's important that, we understand how we go about getting success. And it's very simple. You write down your goal, you write down what you're trying to achieve, and then you focus on it. Notice I said focus, because this is where people get off key. This is where people miss it, is the focus part. You see, the number one thing is you have to take action towards the goal. So you have to take action. You have to make choices, wise choices, because if you don't make any choice, nothing in your life is going to change. Where there is no action, there is no progression. So you have to make the right choice in the first place to get the result you're looking for. Right? But once you do that, it's important that you have focus. Focus is extremely important, because if you don't have focus, then you're going to be scattered everywhere. You got to focus on one thing. So many people are trying to focus on They're trying to focus on so much at a time. They're trying to achieve so much. And because of that, they end up not achieving anything. So it's important that you focus, you focus on 1 to 3 goals. You don't need 5, 7, 6, 8 goals at a time. You just don't. You need a few goals, maybe 1 or 2, and 3 is pushing it. But you need about 1 to 3 goals. That's it. You don't need to focus on anything else. If you can, keep it 1, honestly. Keep 1 goal. Keep 1 big goal that you can focus on, because whatever you focus on is going to expand. And if you try to focus on too much, then your effort is split across all those different things. All those different things require different, different levels of education, different, it's time invested into too much. So you have to focus on just a few things. And as by focusing on those few things, you achieve your goal a lot quicker. Okay, so number 2, and these are just like my points I'm pinning down, but I'm just writing this down. So number 2 is focus. Understand focus. And what you need to do is you need to write down everything that is distracting you from your goals. Now that you know what you want to do, why you want to do it, and how you're going to do it, you need to write down everything, every step you could take, for example, that'll bring you closer to that goal. And then you need to write down everything that would bring you away from that goal, or that would deter you from achieving that. All right? So you need to write that down, so you know that when these things happen, that you know it's a distraction. You need to basically write down your distractions. And that's what this is all about. Point number 2 is to have focus. Write down your distractions in life, so that when these distractions come, you know they're distractions. Because if you don't sort your mind out mentally, then you can't focus. You don't know what to look out for. You don't know what could deter you. Like, for example, like you may be like wanting to work, but your comfort could be getting in the way. I don't feel like going to work. I want to play video games. Okay, well, if you do that, you're not going to be able to achieve your goal. Or, I'm just using that as an example. You can come up with, you can find these things on your own if you look for them. So it's like you need to find the distractions in your life so that you can focus. You need to sort yourself out mentally, so that you know what to look out for, and so you can achieve your goal faster, right? That's extremely important, and so many people don't do this. This is why people don't get results, because they're scattered mentally. They're so scattered and focused on so much stuff that really doesn't have anything to do with them, really doesn't have anything to do with their goal, and they don't even realize this is happening. So in order to achieve a goal, you have to have focus. You've got to be like a Terminator, or machine, basically, where you're just like so pinpointed on where you want to go. You're so disciplined to get it done that you just get it done. You got to work. Turn the games off. Forget about partying. Forget about going to the club or whatever it is you do. Sacrifice for your goals, because if you don't sacrifice for your dreams will be the sacrifice, and that is just the truth. If you don't make sacrifices for something you want, then that something you want will be the sacrifice. If you don't make sacrifices for your dreams will be the sacrifice. So you have to sacrifice for your dreams. You have to sacrifice for what's important to you, for what you're trying to achieve. You have to sacrifice your time and effort to get your own place, to be independent. You've got to get a job. You've got to start bringing money in, period. That's going to mean, delaying gratification. That's going to mean, no video games, or no partying, or whatever it is you do. Heck, that may mean, no smoking or drinking, right? You don't want to eat up all your money. But anyway, so focus, that's extremely important, because without focus, your effort's going to be scattered. So once we have focus, then what we need now is to be consistent. So number 3 is consistency. And this is super important. This is probably the most important. Why is this so important? It's because so many people think they need to take these big leaps in order to achieve goals. When I'm here to tell you, that's not how goals are achieved. It's important. Most goals, most big goals especially, are achieved long term. You know, unless you're like making a simple goal like going to the store and buying some toilet paper. That's a simple goal. You can achieve that in one day. Now, you know, trying to, you know, grow a $2 million business, start a business and grow it to $2 million, that's going to take years and years. All right, that's a long-term goal. And so many people, they don't realize that. So many people, they can't delay gratification. Everything has to be given to them right now. And that's why most people don't go anywhere. That's why people don't achieve their New Year resolutions, because they want results right now. If they can't have it right now, then they don't want it. Most things out there work. It's just that people don't put in the time to see the results. You've got to put in the work. Stop looking for get rich quick schemes and all these, you know, gimmicks basically to get things done. Now, if you can find ways to save time, because time is valuable, then you know, by all means do that. But what I'm saying is, you know, don't be the person who doesn't want to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You have to be consistent. And you have to realize that, you know, your goals are not just going to come to you one day. So you have to be focused. You have to be disciplined to achieve that goal. For example, I paid back my, I went to college, right? I went to college and I paid off my tuition. I paid off my tuition. I paid off my tuition completely. And I wasn't able to do it, you know, all at once. It was a consistent effort over time. I slowly paid it off. I didn't want to have debt. And luckily, thank God, it wasn't a lot of debt. You know, it wasn't an expensive school. But I was able to pay it off. So I put aside money every single month. I was getting a paycheck. And I put aside money every single month to pay off that debt. And before you knew it, I had paid it off. And it was a consistent effort over time. It didn't happen overnight, but I knew if I keep working towards this goal and I stay focused, I will be able to pay this off and I will be debt free basically. And that's what I did. I got it done. Because what you have to understand is not about taking big steps. It's about the simple things you do every single day. Like, for example, we have these stairs right here. And I want you to imagine this. When you're climbing stairs, that's what this is, by the way. If you guys don't know what this is, excuse my drawing. It's not the best, but I'm just using this as an example. All right, these are stairs, all right? So when you're climbing up the stairs, do you try to take 3 steps up the stairs? Do you try to skip 3 steps? The answer is no. I mean, normally you're going to walk 1 step at a time up the stairs. So when you're achieving the goal, do you try to take 3 leaps up the stairs? No, you take 1 step. Do you try to take 3 steps? You take 1 step. 1 step at a time. So small incremental improvements, slowly but surely, bring you to your destination. And before you know it, you've reached the top. You've come farther than you thought, and you've achieved your goal. Bam. That's how it works. That's how goals are achieved. They're achieved through focus and consistency. And on top of that, they're achieved through taking action. Most importantly, they're achieved through taking action. Nothing is going to change if you don't take action. In order to change your life, you have to first change your mind, change your action, change your life. And you have to have the focus and the consistency to do this. So it's important, guys, because I don't know where you are in life, but it's important that you do not despise humble beginnings. So many people despise humble beginnings. You know, they're like, well, I don't want to work here. It doesn't pay enough. Don't despise humble beginnings, because Small incremental improvements, taking a step every day will bring you farther than you think, bring you a long way. So let's go back to this. Let's go back to our, 3 points here on what I'm recommending you do. So we write down what we want, why we want it, how we're going to get it. All right? While we're doing that, we write down what steps, what could I do? Because remember I said have focus. So what steps could we take every day that would bring us closer to our goal? What could I do every single day? It doesn't have to be that big, but what could I do every single day that could bring me closer to my goal? And then you write that down. You write it down, you write it down, you write it down, and you write everything down that'll bring you closer, that'll be beneficial. And you do that every single day. Every day. And I guarantee you, do this for 30 days. Do this for a year. All right? And you're constantly making consistent intentional effort towards a goal. I guarantee you will achieve it, or you will have some percentage of that goal complete. I guarantee it. The question is, will you do it? Will you do it? Will most people do this, or will most people just look for what can I get right now? Right? And I'm not just saying this, guys. I'm not just saying this. This is stuff I've done from this is stuff I've done. All right, this is from prior experience. This is not just stuff I'm just like pulling, out of the sky. This is stuff I've actually done to achieve goals. Like, for example, with my my tuition fees for college, all of that stuff. I use these principles to get what I wanted. All right, so for example, I wanted a 6-pack, right? I wanted a 6-pack. And would you believe that I found a training program that would work for me? And I started doing the exercises every single day, consistently, taking one step at a time. I wasn't even able to do that much. It wasn't even that much. People think, oh, you got to do so much. You got to put in the work. No, not really. I did a simple exercise every single day. Simple exercises every single day. And before you knew it, I had a pretty nice stomach, So I'm just saying that it is consistency. It is taking these little steps every single day. It's not the big things that really matter, guys. It's the little things, the little steps we take every day that accumulate, that compound upon one another. And as they compound, they bring us closer to our goal. They bring us to our goal. This is how anything is achieved in life. So what should we take away from this? Understand that choice. You have to take action, right? You have to choose to take action. If you don't take action towards your goal, you're not going to reach it. You got to move towards it, right? You've got to steer your ship towards the island you're trying to go on, right? Choice. Nothing happens without choice, all right? Then you have to have focus, okay? Have focus. Eliminate distractions. Once you eliminate distractions, have consistency. Be consistent. So consistent effort every single day. Once you've eliminated distractions, then you need to find the things you can do that will bring you closer to your goal. Then you do those things every day through discipline, through consistency. And by doing that, I guarantee you, as you keep climbing these stairs, eventually you're going to reach your goal. Is this making sense? And I'll give you an example. Like this entire example here with the job, the car, the apartment, for example. All of this is actually it's funny because this is kind of this is actually representing me and exactly what I did, for example. And that's why I know it works. But I was at a point in my life where I really just needed to get I needed to get my own place. I needed to be independent in life, and I didn't want to have my life, dictated by my parents, for example, and my grandparents. I'm sorry, I just wanted to do my own thing. It is what it is. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to be independent and just not have to worry about, people telling me what to do, right? So I decided, I need to get a car. I want a car. Why don't I have a car yet? This sucks. I can't even go where I want to go. So you know what? I decided I need to get a job. I need to get a job, and that's what I did. I got a job. I worked there for some time. It was at a restaurant called Zaxby's. It wasn't even it didn't pay that much, but it was enough. I was diligent and I took action. I knew what I was trying to do. I was trying to be independent. I was trying to gain independence, so I kept working, and eventually I got a car. Once I got that car, I went and found another job. I found a better job. It was a delivery job at Napa Auto Parts, for example, and that's what I do right now, actually. So I used that car, all right. Used that car, and I was working at Napa Auto Parts, bringing in some crazy money for a delivery driver. Let's be straight. And so eventually, I gained enough money to, find an apartment, and I got me a nice apartment. And then now, I achieved my goal, just like that. And I'm using that as an example. And this happened over an entire year. Actually, less than a year. No, this was less than a year, by the way. So this happened in all of this transpired in about, 9 months. So all of this happened. I went from no car, no job, no own place, no apartment, to having all of these things in 9 months. 9 months, just because I wrote down my goals. I literally wrote everything down. All right. Well, why I wanted it and how I was going to get it. I put together a plan, because if you fail to plan to fail, So I put all of that together, put my plan together. I focused. I decided what my distractions were, like unnecessary spending or bad habits, or potentially family or friends, anything that was distracting me from what I was trying to do. I put it down as distractions so I could eliminate them and focus on my goals. And then I wrote down the things I could do to help me achieve my goal faster. And then through consistent effort, through hard work, I was able to achieve my goal. And that's where I am today. That's where I am now. So I'm using this to show you guys what it's about. Do not despise humble beginnings. Understand that life is not about the destination. Life is about the journey. Kind of like as the guy on Success Insider says, it's about the journey, right? So it's about going through the process. Do not despise humble beginnings. It's about taking one step at a time. Take one step at a time. Go up the stairs, but with one step at a time. And as you take one step at a time, those steps will compound upon one another and bring you to your goal. I know this is true because I did it, and I've done it several times. That's how I got through college. That's how I paid off my tuition. That's how I've achieved anything in my life significant. I've done this. I understood, and I understand this more now than ever, that in order to achieve a goal, you've got to be consistent and you've got to be focused. And more importantly, more than anything, do not try to do too much. As a matter of fact, I'll be the one to tell you, don't even have more than one goal. Just create one goal. All you need is one goal. The more you add to things, the harder it's going to be. Because the more you're going to have to split your focus between those things. So you've got to, what do you have to do? You've got to have one goal. You've got to have focus. Focus on one thing. And eliminate distractions, and before you know it, you'll have it. I just focus on one thing at a time. I didn't try to pay off my tuition and my and become independent at the same time. No, I just focused on paying my tuition off first, and then I focused on this stuff. And now I am where I am now. I did one thing at a time, and that works for me. And this works for everybody. Yeah, I hope you guys have found some value from this. Remember that write down what you want, all right? Write down why you want it and how you're going to achieve it. Once you do that, put together your plan on how you're going to do it. Put together a plan on how you're going to achieve that goal. All right. Once you do that, eliminate distractions through focus. All right. Eliminate the distractions. Once your distractions are removed, then you want to write down the things you can do every day to bring you closer to your goal. Once you do that, then you start doing those things through discipline and consistency, through willpower. All right. You do those things every single day. And as you sacrifice for your dreams, eventually you will have it. Because if you don't sacrifice for your dreams will be the sacrifice. You have to sacrifice for what you want out of life. And that's just it. Don't be one of those people trying to get something for nothing. If you want something, work for it. If you want something, put in the work. Because that's what it's about. And understand that everything's not going to come to you in one day. Some things take time. This took time for me to get to. This took time. Like some goals take longer than others, and you've got to be willing to accept that. Can you delay gratification long enough to be able to achieve it? Through discipline, through hard work. And that's all I got to say. And if you found value out of this, I will see you guys in the next video. But take action. Right? Because if you don't take action, your life will not change. And I can guarantee you that. And remember, in order to change your life, change your mind, change your action, change your life. And I hope you guys go and achieve your goals. What can I say? Also, be sure that you get the control seat as well. There will be a link to that below this video, and then I'll also have a link to the video I talk about it. I recommend you guys go grab that control seat and watch the video about that, because it can help you tremendously in this area. So I recommend you go pick that up. Again, I'll link to the video below. It'll be a control seat video, so you definitely want to look at that, because it can help you to be able to do this a lot more efficiently. So anyway, link to that video below about the control seat. It's a free download. You just go to the website, download it, and it helps you to be able to sort yourself out mentally so you can get better results. But I will see you in the next video. Take care and adios.